Hello boxing fans, welcome back to Andy's Cavern. How are we all doing tonight? Well, that's me back in my cavern, back from my travels. Hope you're all well out there, guys. Well, it's finally here. The circus has come to town. The controversial fight of the year, or the most controversial fight of the year so far. There's a lot of people saying it's a gimmick fight. There's a lot of people say it shouldn't be happening. It certainly has controversy about it, about the weights of the fighters. I am, of course, talking about EUBANK JNR versus CONOR BENN, the confirmed drugs cheat who claims to be exonerated, but I don't think anybody really believes that. Does he even believe that? Does Barry Hearn believe that? It was him that was coming out about he's been completely exonerated, and then you've got Eddie Hearn on site, he's a lovely boy. All this nonsense, this poor young man. Well, EUBANK JNR's doing a good job in silencing Eddie Hills, Hearn, whatever you want to call him. Scumbag is what EUBANK calls him, innit? So the weigh-in's been, I kind of felt, is it all hype? I don't know. What are we to believe? I don't really think EUBANK's team have been doing him any favours fighting his corner. There seemed to be a lot of controversy over the scales, and I seen somebody putting a kettlebell on it. I mean, are these scales properly calibrated? What's going on? Is anybody going to come and tell us the truth? I seen somebody, I'm not sure who he was actually, a guy from EUBANK's team, arguing with the British Boxing Board of No Control, Robert Smith, and that, what's the guy? Giles, somebody Giles, can't remember his first name, about the gloves, saying they claimed they didn't want horsehair gloves. I think that's what they were saying anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, maybe you guys know more about it than I do. I'm only a fan, only a man in a shed, watching the proceedings unfold. I mean, it all seems to be geared up in Ben's favour. Everything seems to be for him. I mean, EUBANK's got this rehydration clause. Though EUBANK has signed for this, has he been ill-advised? He should know better. I think EUBANK's quite an astute guy. Ben's, he doesn't come across as the brightest, does he? We'll say that. We'll not say any more than that. Reminds me a bit of the character. You guys that are my age or older, if you ever watched the Dick Emery show, it was the young bother boy, wasn't he? You got it wrong again, Dad! Reminds me a wee bit of somebody like that. I mean, you've got Nigel Benn, Nige in the background. He's there or thereabouts, floating about in the background all the time. He's there constantly. So, I mean, this is a non-title fight. We've got this rehydration clause of £10 that he's got to put. He's not allowed to put any more than £10 on by what I thought was 10 AM in the morning. I'm now hearing 8 AM. What is it? It's not even a title fight, is it? Oh, they're saying EUBANK's the IBO middleweight champion or so. I didn't know he still held that belt, but that was news to me. I mean, the IBF do a thing where it's a £12 rehydration clause, so why EUBANK's agreed to this £10 thing? He's missed the weight for the main weight. I think he weighed in 160 pounds and 2 ounces. He went away to try and sweat it out. As somebody pointed out, he did get a sweat on, so that maybe signifies he's not completely dry. But he said himself they wouldn't allow him, I don't know if it's the Board of Control he was talking about, wouldn't allow him to go to the toilet and urinate. They wouldn't allow that for some reason. Wouldn't allow him to shave his beard, which would have been the difference when this, what turned out in the end to be half an ounce, 25 grams or something. You're talking a not even a full packet of crisps. You're talking a multi-pack packet of crisps, 25 grams. Why wouldn't they let him do that then? What's going on there? Why is his corner, or Ben Shalom, or his promoter, who's his promoter, no shouting out for him, fighting his corner for him? I've seen that other guy shouting about the gloves. I'm not sure who he is, to be honest. He was doing a bit of shouting. He didn't seem to be getting anywhere. He didn't have anybody backing him up, you know. In effect, they could, if they were unhappy about something, they should do what Tyson Fury's team done when Klitschko tried to put extra padding under the canvas and that. They could turn around and say, right, fight's off. Because if his corner took a stance like that, I think they would maybe get somewhere, because there's a lot of money on the line for this fight. So if he turned around and said he wasn't happy with saying, nah, fight's off. Conor Benn, I believe, he was screaming to get an 18-foot ring, which is probably widely agreed to be in his favour. So he's getting things in his favour. He's got this rehydration clause imposed upon EUBANK. I've heard somebody say, oh, EUBANK was getting more money than Conor Benn because of all these things. At the end of the day, I think he should be doing what's right for himself, not what's right for somebody else, just for the sake of money. I mean, it'd be fined $500,000 or £375,000 for this half an ounce, and his team are not really backing him up, like to say, no allowing him to go to the toilet or anything like that. I think it's pretty bad, pretty bad. What's the Board of Control doing about this? They seem to be not saying a lot. They're pretty disappointing in my mind. At the end of the day, EUBANK's not done anything wrong. It's the reason the first fight didn't happen is because Conor Benn failed not one but two positive drug tests with clomiphene in the system, which, as far as I'm aware, is something that's used as a masking agent to hide other stuff in your system. So what was the other stuff it was hiding? Who knows? Are we ever going to know? Conor Benn could apparently release the explanation about the inquiry or whatever, all the data, all the information, but he's not chosen to do so. So he obviously doesn't want it coming out, because it's not going to look good in him, is it? Or is he going to wait till after this fight? And I don't think so. I don't think so. So EUBANK weighed in at 160 pounds and 0.05 of an ounce. Ben weighed in at 156 pounds and 4 ounces, so he's well under the weight. He's still saying he's a 147 fighter. He's not fought at 147 for 3 years, has he? There's a big size difference, but it's all going to be on how EUBANK rehydrates, I think. I mean, he's done it before, but he is getting older. He's 35. Is it a step too far, making the weight once more? We'll find out tomorrow night, won't we? I mean, Eddie Hearn's talking about Ben getting justice. What's he getting justice from? Is it no EUBANK that should be getting justice? What is he getting? What's he getting justice from? That's a question. Answers in a postcard. So that's Eddie Hearn, though, isn't it? Eddie Hearn. He's trying to make it all about him again, isn't he? EUBANK's not having that at any of the conferences. Just shut him down. Eddie. At least he made him walk away. Then Frank Smith, his brother-in-law, comes up there. He didn't get very far either, did he? But good on EUBANK for fighting them, shutting them down. So, prediction-wise, what we're thinking? Providing this weight thing doesn't affect EUBANK too adversely. I mean, I pick EUBANK to beat Ben. He's way bigger than him. He's got more experience. He's fought at a higher level. Who's Ben beat? Ben's not even beat domestic guys, has he? He's not fought for an area title. He's not fought for British title, Commonwealth title. He's not fought for any of these. EUBANK's won a British title. I think he's won IBO, super middleweight and middleweight titles, which is lesser. lesser regarded belts, aren't they? But he has fought a higher level. He got beat by George Groves when Groves was a world champion, when he challenged him. He's always fought at a... he's always... I mean, he's sparred like guys like Froch. Froch has always spoke highly of him. The Liam Smith defeat, could it be seen as a blip? I mean, I heard Eddie Hearn saying, oh, Liam Smith knocked him spark out. He didn't knock him spark out. He was stopped on his feet. He got up too quick, maybe because he's never been dropped before. But that could have been a knock-on effect of making the weight. Was it 157 for that? The first proposed bout before Ben failed the drug test. I mean, that was shocking trying to get him down to 157, but he should never have been trying to do that. So, but then he did in the rematch against Liam Smith what I thought he would have done in the first fight. So he came good in that fight. It could have just been a blip, the first Liam Smith fight. But then he was fighting, I think Roy Jones was training him, and he was trying to do a Roy Jones style, which was all wrong. That probably was a bit his undoing as well. Because that Roy Jones style was for a young guy with reflexes, and EUBANK at that time was early 30s. Your reflexes are not there like they were in your mid-20s. Roy Jones himself, that style failed for him further on in his career, didn't it? I mean, he was superb in his heyday, Roy Jones, but then he's another one that's failed drug tests, isn't he? So there wasn't too much made about that. So yeah, drugs and boxing appears to be a bit of an issue at the moment, which is very disappointing for us fans. So what's going to happen? If Ben comes out the traps fast, and I mean, EUBANK could catch him. EUBANK's got a good uppercut and a good right hand. He's got a decent left hook as well, I think. But I can see EUBANK catching him if Ben's coming rushing in recklessly. Will he be reckless? How reckless will he be? I don't know. But with the sheer size difference, I think EUBANK should beat him. Should beat him comfortably, I think. But, mainly because there's levels in boxing. And Ben's never fought at as high a level as what EUBANK's competed at. EUBANK's not always won at the highest level, but he's been there, isn't he? He's competed at the highest level. So I think that's enough for me to think go for a EUBANK win. If Ben wins, I think it'll only be because EUBANK's been drained, weight drained by an uncomfortable level. EUBANK's last fight, I thought he looked a wee bit weight drained than that. He could have been a bit rusty. Could have been a combination of both. So because Ben's a drug cheat, I want EUBANK to win. Normally I don't really mind who wins. I'm quite happy just for a good fair fight with no controversy. Could there be controversy in this fight? I don't know who the ref is. We hope not. We don't want any controversy, because controversy is bad and it leaves a bad taste in the mouth, so we don't want any of that as boxing fans. But you can't rule it out, can you? And if you can put a bet on there being controversial circumstances and you got good odds, I'd put my money on that. But let's hope not. Let's not be negative, let's be positive and hope it's a good fair fight. Personally, I hope EUBANK bounces him off the canvas about half a dozen times. I don't want to see anybody hurt or injured. I just want to see Ben humiliated. So on this particular occasion, I'm finding it hard to be impartial, but which is, it's not the way I should be, but I can't help being a bit disillusioned with all this hullabaloo about a guy who's a drug cheat. Or is Eddie Hearn just cashing him in with this fight because he knows he's... I mean, Eddie Hill's got Hearn, or whatever you want to call him, has got Boots Ennis in it, and I think he said recently Boots Ennis is the best welterweight boxer in the world. What does Conor Benn think about that? He keeps telling us he's going back down to 147. Boots Ennis would turn him inside out and spank him bad. Leave him in a bad way, I would have thought. So I don't. That's an easy fight to make, isn't it? For if Eddie Hearn's got them both, innit? So, but I don't see that match getting made. They're talking about a 2-fight deal here, but if it's really one-sided, I don't see a second fight. But there's been any appetite for a second fight. So there comes to the thing: is would EUBANK carry him for a bit, or to make it the second fight viable for that extra payday? I don't know. I don't want to see things like that. I want to see everybody giving their best, but there is a lot of people speculating stuff like that. I hope that's not the case. I don't want to see any jiggery-pokery going on anywhere, be it fighters, judges, referees, any of that. We want a good, fair fight and a good hard fight, hard-fought fight. But I just can't. I personally can't see anything other than a EUBANK win. Just the level he's fought at. He's bigger, more experience. CONOR BENN does look fit. He's in good shape. He's not going to be weight drained in any way. So that's going to be in his favour. He's getting his 18-foot ring he wanted. He's getting this extra money from EUBANK for missing the weight by half an ounce. That's I don't know. You probably think the same as me, but EUBANK signed up to this for this penalties and that, so I don't know. We'll wait and see. Yeah, so that's it. Circus time tomorrow evening. I'm actually out tomorrow evening, so I just hope I'm back in time to see it, or I'm going to have to watch it on replay at some point. There is a decent undercard on that. I'll probably do another video regarding the undercard. Have I covered everything? It's not often I've got notes, but I do have notes tonight. I normally try and remember everything, but it's not always easy. Well, I believe there's another $500,000 fine if he chooses to just miss the rehydration thing. So I seen him interviewed earlier, and he was kind of undecided if he was going to go and eat a lot and then have a sauna in the morning to try and get the weight off again in the morning. And I don't know. I just hope he does get back to properly rehydrated and in a decent shape for fighting. I don't want to see somebody being weight drained is dangerous, and you can see why his old man's raising the alarm, you might say, on his concerns. I hear some people saying his old man is just after money. If his old man was just after money, he'd be in his corner, wouldn't he? If it was just completely all about money for him. I think he's a principled man. He maybe is about money in some respects, but everybody's got to eat, don't they? So I don't think it's quite all about money. I'm not saying he's not all about money, but I think in this instance he would be in the corner. He's been vocal. He's been vocal about it the last time about this fight being made, and he's vocal about it again. So you can't blame him as a father not wanting his son to come to any harm. He's already lost one son, which Chris EUBANK Jr. alluded to in his poignant speech at the last press conference when he was talking about pain, what pain really is. So I think everybody sat up and took note of what he was saying there. He is a good talker, EUBANK, isn't he? EUBANK Jr. So, yeah, he's just highlighting the realities of life in general, I suppose. So I think that's about it. I'm picking EUBANK by stoppage. That's what I'll say. EUBANK by stoppage. So I don't know what you guys are thinking out there. Feel free to leave a comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Andy's Cavern Boxing and Canada's Boxing channel. And Porky's Corner as well. Like and subscribe to all these channels if you want the truth as we see it in boxing from a fan's perspective. Like myself, Bob's been on vacation, but he's due back anytime soon, so he's back in the next couple of days. So we get another 4-way thing going at some point. Porky's Angels episode. And don't forget Boxers in Need as well. www.boxersinneed.com. Have a wee look at that. Only take you a couple of minutes. And I think that's it. And for now, it's good night from me, good night to you. Good night.